Coming to you live from my apartment, it's Rob Has a Podcast. And now here's a guy who would have run out of that haunted house faster than Tamar Braxton. I am Rob Cesternino. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Here we are, Wednesday night here on Celebrity Big Brother. We've got a new HOH and nominations to talk about on a very fun episode, but we have another amazing guest here tonight from Big Brother 20. Please welcome to the show. We've got Scotty Salton. Scotty, how are you?
Good. No names, though. No names.
No names for this alliance? You don't want to be part of Team
names.
Fun podcast?
No names, no fun, no.
Okay. Scotty, I see that you are wearing a Batman t-shirt. Are you campaigning for the Joey Lawrence Batman?
I should. I really liked him in this episode. He had a good episode for me.
He's getting that underdog heat.
Mm-hmm. Well, I also he just talks game in front of everybody in open spaces and does it to everybody.
Yeah. He's becoming maybe he's gonna have his moment here in Celebrity Big Brother. Of course, the man who's having his moment all winter long. Here is Taran Armstrong. Taran, how are you?
I'm great because Batman Joey is afraid of no game talk. No game talk is too scary for Joey Batman.
Yeah, even when that guy tried to scare him in the car, he's like, "Yeah, nice try, nice try, guy.
See you later, buddy.
See you later."
And he doesn't believe in alliances.
No,
you got to remember he doesn't believe in alliances.
except for the underdog one he tried to create.
Yes.
Except for that one. But all right, we got a lot of stuff to get to here tonight with Scotty live. So get your questions in #RHAP. Talk about everything from the episode and whatever you want to ask Scotty. Let us know #RHAP, and then we'll talk about a busy day on the live feeds also with Taran later on in the show. But Scotty, I'm very excited to have you here with us tonight. And how has everything been going for you outside of the Big Brother house?
Everything's chill. I mean, my life's on hold right now because Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, and I'm trying to figure out this Hive cruise thing that's happening.
Yes.
I'm still trying to figure out the flight plans for that. Because I was told that I was going to get flown out there, but now I'm being told I'm not being flown out there. So I got to figure that out.
Yeah, well, I don't have any answers about what's going on there. So what's the game that your life is on hold for?
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Okay. Kingdom of Hearts 3.
Kingdom Hearts, Rob.
Kingdom Hearts.
Yep.
Okay. What's that about?
It's literally what's the easiest way to say it? Some guy with a sword that looks like a key goes around Disney maps and tries to save the Disney universe.
Okay.
If you have 2 hours, we can explain the plot to you.
All right. We'll come back to that later on in the show.
More than 2 hours.
And so the Hive is going on a cruise, allegedly?
You have it right, allegedly.
Yes.
We're going on an alleged cruise.
Is it soon?
It's at the end of February.
Okay.
So it'll be February 24th to March 1st.
Okay.
I was on the phone with Fess for a while earlier, and he was like, just fly to Orlando and we'll drive down there. So I have that as an option if it's cheaper.
Wow. And okay. All right. And that sounds like I could do 20 minutes on that alone. I have a lot of questions, but so you're cruising, you're gaming, and anything else?
My landlord sold my apartment building, or is selling it, so we got to get out of there. Our lease is up soon anyway, it doesn't matter. No, not really.
Okay. How's Steve
chilling.
doing?
Steve is doing great. We are in the Winter of Steve.
Winter of Steve 2019.
Morning. Yes. Man, the Winter of Steve brought me -50 today in Chicago.
Yeah, it's a cold winter of Steve. And
I did something to make him mad.
Scotty, what's going on with Steve? That Steve lost a ton of weight too, right?
Oh yeah, for finale too, he dropped 60 pounds.
Wow.
He should have been like that in the house.
Yeah,
he would have been able to stand on that stupid peg.
And then does he do stand-up comedy also now?
He's done a couple, but those were just appearances.
Okay.
He mostly he fixes motorcycles.
Boy.
So if you need a momotorcycle fixed in Jersey, find Steve.
All right.
No Harleys though. He doesn't do Harleys.
Why not Harleys? Boycott?
Because if you're buying a Harley, you're buying an expensive ass bike.
Yeah.
So you should just take it to the dealership. You're probably too snobby to go to Steve, to get your bike fixed.
Okay. All right. Well, Scotty, talk to us about Celebrity Big Brother. Are you enjoying seeing these celebrities running around your house?
Yes, I am. Well, I love their house is so much. It's so much better than ours. I hate that we didn't have a workout room. We had that stupid app room. I hated that app room.
Mhm.
Having that whole extra room in that hallway, that is like a great place to actually talk game because you can hear people coming down the hallway before you even you can just shut up and you have time to change whatever you're talking about. They should utilize that room
So
more.
that's interesting. So for us that don't live in the house, that I think it's sort of hard to get a picture of what the geography is. So the room that's the workout room, they used just for those 10 minutes that they used it for the power apps. And when
And
Caitlin did the
Caitlin's
puzzle,
puzzle.
yeah, and that was it.
And then the year before in 19, that was the Den of Temptation, which is the same thing as the Power App.
Right.
Yeah, it was that room.
Was that also where when Paul crawled through to the
Yeah, because the phone booth was up there.
Taryn, they're wasting all that real estate.
It's the twist room. They use it for
Yeah,
twists.
that's Taryn's least
That's where-
favorite room.
Yeah.
That's where Tom runs into people that aren't in
Yes.
the house.
Okay, Scotty, do you have a favorite from this group?
I went in cheering hardcore for Ricky. I'm going to stay Team Ricky. I didn't think I would like Tom going into the year, and I thought I would like John a lot. But those have flip flop.
Yeah. Why Ricky Williams?
Because he was on the cover of NFL Street.
That's why?
That's the reason why.
Yeah.
He's so cool, and I kind of owe my brother for that because my brother was a big Ricky Williams fan. And when he left the NFL for smoking dope,
Yeah.
I gave him a hard time nonstop, and it would piss my brother off to no end.
Yeah.
So I'm on the Ricky Williams train for now.
Is your brother watching Celebrity Big Brother for Ricky Williams now?
He's watching it. I don't know if Ricky's his favorite though. He kind of jumps around. He kind of just wants there to be craziness in the house.
Okay.
He doesn't really have a in stock favorite.
All right. Well, this was a night where really dominated by one long challenge, but I think this was a big set piece for Celebrity Big Brother. I don't know if we're going to get another challenge that's going to have as much production design. Scotty, did you like the Slaughterhouse night?
I do. I'm glad we never had anything like that, but I like the Slaughterhouse. I like watching people get scared. Just any kind of time trial. Setting those up from their perspective, they were doing a whole bunch of waiting all day. Like live feeds are probably down all day for them to wait around.
Mm-hmm.
From that aspect, it sucks. But watching it, it's kind of cool to have the time trials, and then they all sit in a room, and then you're just waiting as the times pop up, and you get impressed with people based on their time. I liked it overall.
Yeah. Taryn, I know the feeds were down the other night when they were doing this. There was a lot of talk on the feeds about what they actually went through. Did it deliver to what the expectations were?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we usually have many expectations. I think it was fun. I think it maybe lasted a little longer than it needed to on the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Once we've seen it 6 times,
Yeah,
I don't know
but
if
once they put all that
9
time
times.
and money into it, then they're gonna air it in the episode.
I guess so. I can't help but feel like we're missing a lot of what's actually happening in the house.
Yeah.
So I feel like
I
maybe
get it.
time was-
I can tell that this is a night where there's a lot of stuff that happened that doesn't end up making the show. The only thing I'll say in the show's defense here is that this is another one of these nights where this is a 48-hour turnaround from when we had the last live show, and it is very difficult to get all of that other stuff, those other story segments into the show, and that's probably why they lean so much on the competition on a show like this. And maybe on Saturday, where we now have 2 nights off, we might get a better catch up, Taryn.
Well, it's also that they spent almost all the time, the strategy time in this episode, trying to catch us up with things that happened the first day of feeds, because they were too busy the entire first week with all their twists and nonsense. Where we're just now seeing the scene where they talk to Ricky about Team Fun and all of that stuff. So it's and even that was very shoddily put together. So it's
hey, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We've got some 2-hour episodes coming up next week, Taryn. We'll catch up. we'll catch up. Scotty, would you have had any problem in the haunted house?
Well, I always thought that if I did that, because I remember they did it on OTT and they did it on 19, I would have bear crawled as fast as I could through that. I would have tackled whoever was in my way. But if you ask JC and Tyler, I talk a lot when I get scared, a lot.
Yeah. Now, you guys basically had in the first half of the HOH competition, that half of the house, you weren't in that half that went into the dark room, right?
No, I did the house guest thing.
Yeah. So you dodged a bullet there. You were in the lucky half.
Did I though? Because if I would have been in that room, then maybe I would have been in the level 6 alliance from the go.
Oh,
and I could have been.
I guess so. It could have worked out that way.
Butterfly effect.
Yeah, but I thought that we were gonna. Taryn, was there rumors that the people that were scaring them were actually celebrities?
Not that I saw.
I thought I saw people speculating of who were the scaring people that were doing that.
I was concerned for them, especially the person lying on the couch, because they just kept like feeling that person up like right away, and it was bad.
Impropriety.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lola like grabbed her mask and went to pull it, and she was like this.
Well, I thought that somebody was just gonna, get like checked up against the wall and like trying to get to the hallway. Like the one person that was in the hallway with Ricky Williams. I'm like, if Ricky Williams wants to, this guy's going down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then we see Ricky just like go back. I thought Batman Joey was gonna do something. I thought he was gonna check someone.
No. There was a lot of talk this week. A lot of people were upset with Tamar for not competing in the HOH. Taryn, was that as bad as you had thought perhaps earlier in the week?
I don't think it was as bad as we may have thought. Like, based on her description, she was like, yeah, I saw that. And I was like, nope.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she didn't even try. It did seem like she tried a little bit.
Yeah. Hey, she went in there. And then once the guy...
She got her foot in the door.
Once the guy came in with the chainsaw, I mean, Scott, we saw her the other night. She didn't want to, like, drop off, like, a 3-foot thing that she was hanging off of. She's not going to go through the crawl space.
With like goop on the bottom of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way he was doing that.
No,
There was crawling?
I love the list of the things that Tamar doesn't do. I felt Tamar was so relatable.
I don't do haunted houses. I don't do no Halloweens, honey. I don't do clowns. I don't do snakes. I don't do caterpillars. I don't do birds. I don't do none of that stuff that's going to scare me. No. None of that.
Yeah. She doesn't do caterpillars, Scotty. I mean, that seems like what's the problem with caterpillars?
I don't know the problem with caterpillars, but if it's a butterfly and you see it,
yes.
It's like a memory and it can make you cry.
Yes, that's as per one Paulie Calafiore. I am well aware of that butterflies that they can make you very emotional.
Yeah, so caterpillars have a latent emotion.
Oh, so a caterpillar is a baby butterfly.
Yeah, she's anticipating the future butterfly.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a butterfly ride or die that one day is going to keep crushing it, stay crushing it, and then eventually will be a butterfly. So that's why Tamar doesn't mess around with that. So, really well done in terms of, I mean, I feel like that it was the closest thing from last season, I feel like, was the space competition that they ended up doing with the slow-mo and dropping the, slimy things. Like, I feel like they've got like one big budget movie adaptation per season.
The one that Feshiro won.
yes. But unfortunately, he came up just short.
Yeah, when he told me it was a catching competition and he didn't win, I just I looked at him like this.
Yeah. Well, in fairness, he did lose to another football player who was also another receiver.
Lost because of the mouth catching.
Yes.
He didn't have to ever. Yeah. Literally, Casey would practice that. I don't know if you guys saw it, but she would practice catching food in her mouth daily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That crazy preparation. I don't know how she knew that was going to happen.
That's what you need to do to succeed.
Yeah.
I feel like they've spent more time and effort on the competition sets for this season. I think probably because celebrity season, they want to like impress people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also they have the freedom to, because they've closed off that part of the backyard, so they can just spend as much time as they want.
More time to work on the actual set design.
I think so. I mean, I thought the rock set wall, I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. It was pretty well set up there.
Yeah, they've done a good job. Yeah. So let's talk about some of the headlines from the night, Scotty. Tamar ends up getting the power of the publicist. Did that surprise you?
Not at all. Literally, my entire Twitter feed was just TV celeb. That was just for like that entire night. That's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I waited till it was over to tweet Ricky just to see how people would react. And then they were just like, traitor. First of all, it's over. Traitor. People were all about her getting this power. They got to keep giving people powers.
Yes.
But yeah, people were all about her getting power. Not surprised at all.
Yeah. Taryn, on the feeds, has Tamar talked about that she had this power? How did we know this?
I mean, it was kind of obvious based on the way she was behaving, but also you could kind of see that Joey was trending for a while, then Tamar was trending for a while. Joey definitely seemed like he didn't have it. Tamar definitely seemed like she did have it. So that was pretty much it. There was a count on Reddit that said that Joey had received more individual hashtags. However, that was without retweets. With retweets, we're not sure. So that's probably why Tamar had it.
Okay, but excited to see the power in Tamar's hands, Scotty.
Yeah, it seems difficult to count like hashtags. Like I don't know exactly how they're counting that.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
Like
I don't know how that works.
I tried to read as much of it as possible, and I could not find. There was no mention of how they're counting or what counts as a vote or anything like that.
Yeah,
it's just some person in a room saying like, "I feel like I see this name a lot."
Basically.
Yeah, like my whole timeline was practically Tamar. Let's just give it, just give it to her. So we end up with nominations from Tom Green, and he wants to flush the Power App, but he's gonna go with Joey and with Candy because according to Tom Green, that's who his gut tells him has the Power App or has the power, the publicist.
I agree with the logic that you should flush out the power if they're not going to use it for you, but I just don't understand. I don't understand why he put Candy up. I don't feel like Candy was ever a threat for him.
Well,
like,
yeah, that I don't understand why he thinks Candy got the vote, Taryn.
Kato was completely convinced that Candy had it. He plays poker. He had a read. He was 100% sure. He was willing to bet $100,000 on it.
Joey, I could totally see, and Joey, kind of is in that America's sweetheart lane of child actor that people sort of like grew up with him, and so he's a household name, but. Candy, and I did see, Andy Cohen was tweeting out for people to vote for her, but I was surprised that that's where Tom thought the votes ultimately were going. But Tamar gets the vote here, and Taryn, I'm just surprised by this because it feels like that was the live feed vote. But as we've seen in a lot of these Big Brother votes and polls, that the TV watching audience really dictates it. And I didn't think that necessarily that the TV audience would have fell in love with Tamar like the people who were seeing her on the live feeds.
Yeah, so something interesting is that count on Reddit did have Candy in third place. So that's surprising, I guess. Also, Tom thought that Joey had it. Kato thought that Candy had it, and so that kind of explains why the two of them are on the block a little bit. So yeah, I mean, I think basically Joey was trending first, right? As soon as the episode ended, Joey was trending. He was trending. He was the only one trending. He was trending above Tamar once Tamar started trending for a long time. And then like late night, Candy started taking the lead. And then into the early morning, Tamar was ahead of Joey. So basically, I think what happened was they had some, casual interaction on Twitter as soon as the episode aired, and they were all for Joey. But the sort of more hardcore fan base that was waiting for the HOH feeds to return were just continuing to tweet all night long for Tamar, and that kind of did it because it was such a short period that sold it.
And it's interesting that the mechanism that they used to count the votes in that vote on Twitter as opposed to vote on CBS.com or like with the CBS app like you had to do with the Power app, I think that probably changes the result if they change the mechanism by which people are voting.
Yeah, and I think that if you're only allowed to vote once, it probably changes it as well, because I think
that would change it a lot.
Yeah, I think that all of those Joey numbers would have been locked in, and I don't think it would have been able to be overturned.
Scotty, what is it like being in the House when there is some sort of a power that you know that the audience is voting on, and when you're trying to figure out who has it and what does it mean depending on who has it?
It really, to me, it never really mattered until other people would like present it to you and be like, I think this person has the power. This should be a reason why we should either work with them or go against them. And I was just like, I don't think that has nothing to actually do with why I'd want to go after somebody. I'd want to go after somebody because they're either a threat to me or because they're going to beat me in a competition later on.
Mm-hmm.
So to me personally, it never mattered, but it like adds to the paranoia of the House, which we're totally seeing with Tom. Tom's losing his mind.
What about in terms of how you're feeling like you're being received on the show? Because I really feel like that's something that would, you can make yourself go crazy thinking about like, what is the outside audience reacting to what's happening in the House?
Yeah, that hit Rachel really hard when she wasn't trending.
Yes.
For me, like I never really cared too much about what America was thinking, except for when I wanted the third app. I wanted that third app so bad because I thought for sure I was going to go. But the first two I didn't care about. But once you know that like America's influence is actually in the game as far as the vote, you do kind of change what you're doing and you can get more aggressive with your gameplay to like try to be like, look, I'm trying. Help me out here.
Mm-hmm.
So people will get more aggressive.
Okay. All right. Well, we saw Tom talking about this alliance that he wanted to put together, and this is Taryn. How far back is this stuff that we're seeing tonight?
So I think that particular scene where they talked about Team Fun, Jonathan was still in the house at that time.
Yeah. So we're mixing and matching a little bit in terms of, where we are. But Tom and Kato, they're working together. We've seen them on the show working with Natalie Eva Marie and with Lolo Jones. But now they're talking about bringing in Ricky Williams for this potential Team Fun. And so now... So is Kato the HOH when this conversation is happening, Taryn?
I think Ryan might be the HOH at that time.
So this is 2 HOHs ago?
Yeah. Basically, what they need to do is set up that there is a contentious relationship between Ricky and Tom. The better way of setting that up would have been to show the argument that they had where Ricky calls Tom a prick and they get into a little bit of a tiff here. But instead, they just kind of threw this together. It's like, hey, they're kind of aligned, but also not. And there you go.
Yeah. I wonder if maybe they don't want to make anybody come off particularly rough in I wonder if to some degree if they're trying to protect the celebrities a little bit more, Taryn, in the edit. Do you think is that a factor?
I guess it's possible. I guess they didn't really go too hard on anybody last season either. I would say they're being pretty hard on Lolo, but they're really just showing her. So I guess you can't really blame them.
What did they show that you thought was so bad?
The whole thing of her crying about Ryan and how like, oh, Ryan, I love you so much. If you hadn't just forced me to betray you in the way that you did, I wouldn't be so sad. It's all your fault that I stabbed you in the back.
Yeah. I didn't, that didn't jump out to me as being too rough on Lola. What'd you think, Scotty?
The whole Ryan sequence is so dumb. First, that's dumb. There's no reason for her to cry.
Mm-hmm.
She literally flipped him off on the memory wall. Don't talk about betraying America.
Yeah.
And then
she feels like a traitor.
She fights with everybody all the time.
Yeah.
And I also didn't like when they put Ryan up. Kato was like, Olympic champion, you're on the block. Woo!
Tokyo.
Like, yeah. I hated that sequence. That entire Ryan going was stupid. That was a mistake.
Yeah. A mistake for who? For Tom and for Kato?
Yeah, because now they have an HOH and a veto combined, and now they're targeting Ricky because they think he's a competitive player. Well, if you bottom all these people out in the beginning, you're next.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they don't see that.
Yeah, I get it in a regular season, but is it impossible that this could work in a celebrity season where players aren't as sharp?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, look, Candy's just sitting back, relaxing. Joey was sitting back, relaxing for the longest time, keeping like believing alliances at one point. Now he's starting to play.
Mhm.
So as people kind of catch up, though, they kind of seem like they're learning the game a little bit quicker than they did last year. So I think that this group will learn quicker and be like, wait, we should get rid of them.
Yeah, we did see some alliance talk going on. We saw Joey, as you mentioned, trying to round up the bottom feeders, the people who were seemingly not in the 4-person alliance, and saying, like, hey, maybe we could get something going. But I thought it was so funny when Tamar was talking about how, like, you think that this group, this group of the losers is going to be able to beat the, makeshift superhero alliance? Although I'm sure that must have really cut Joey, Taryn, when he watches this episode to see he was not included in the superhero alliance. He was not a makeshift superhero.
Batman's not included in the Justice League immediately.
He doesn't want to be in the
They don't
Justice
trust
League.
him at first.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. He's a loner,
Yeah.
Yeah.
an outsider.
Yeah.
It's just what the city needs.
So I thought that the conversation that Tom and Candy had was so interesting, where Candy, I thought, asked, I think, one of the most interesting questions that you can ask on the show. And that, Scotty, Candy asked Tom, so are you in an alliance with everybody else?
Just straight up to his face,
Yeah.
and Tom doesn't know how to react. He's like, aren't you? Are you talking to
what is the
people?
right answer to that question?
I would probably just be like, yeah, I am.
Mm-hmm.
You're not in it.
Yeah. Well,
then I
you
would
were
leave.
in all the alliances. You literally could have answered the question, are you in an alliance with everybody else?
Me? I don't think I was in an alliance with everybody else. I was in no one's alliance.
Well, I guess both things are true. That, but you had a lot of relationships in the house.
Relationships, yes. Relationships that mattered in the game, no.
Some of them matter.
They got me far enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I thought I don't even want to
No, go get it, please.
Into my season, we want to talk about this season.
No, I
the new
think that
one.
people want to. I think people want to hear your stories.
I literally, during Glow and Flow, I thought I was in the perfect spot. I was like, okay, Haley just spent the last 2 weeks putting up Tyler, Angela, and Casey.
Mhm.
Bess is going to win this. Who's going to go on the block? Tyler, Angela, Casey. Then one of them's going to go, and they're going to get mad. One of them's going to win HOH. They're going to go after Haley and Fess. And I'm just going to sit here until Final 5, and then I have to start winning.
Mm-hmm.
That's what was going in my head. And I was, I was smug and cocky in that HOH meeting, and I kind of deserved to go.
Mm-hmm.
Just for that. I should have blown up.
Yeah. Look, the past is the past, Scotty. That
Yeah.
it was a great run.
Love wins, love wins, love wins.
That's right. That's right. Right. You get that T-shirt, I heard.
I don't have it yet. I'm gonna have to cop myself a copy.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Well,
love wins.
we'll see if we could put.
Also, I have the same color aura as Ricky Williams, yellow.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Oh, but in fairness, I think that's what Taryn and I have also, right, Taryn?
I believe so, yeah.
It's a
This is holy cow. Everyone's got yellow auras.
It's a popular, one of the most popular colors for the aura.
Now I feel like my aura is not as important.
Yeah, I don't know how many
It's not
different.
as special.
I don't know if there's only like 4 different colors. I don't know.
Maybe
I
we're
don't
the
know
only
that either.
5 people
Who have
with
yellow
Ricky
auras. Well,
and Tyler.
Tamar had like the lemon lime one?
Yes, that's right. Good memory. Yeah. So that's a little green, and I believe that Melissa has only green. So we're on top of this.
The list just keeps getting bigger.
Yes.
Wait, who doesn't have a yellow aura?
I don't
You know,
know.
Rachel doesn't have yellow aura.
Maybe somebody could put together the infographic of all the different
Yeah.
people that we've nailed down their colors of aura.
Yes.
And then
I would like that.
That
list.
would be really good. Yeah. Speaking of Caitlin, I was thinking of her when Kato Kaelin was asked to name the alliance, and Kato Kaelin came up with this name.
We don't have a name. How about Team I'ma Stay? Instead of saying Namaste, I think we have to say Team We Want Stay.
Yeah. Do you think was that a reference to your season, Scotty? Was talking about Namaste?
The only way it's a reference is it's a reference to bad alliance names. Because that's awful. And then after that was We Gonna Stay or something like that?
Yeah.
That's awful. Team Fun, awful name. Faute, awful name. Level 6, awful name.
You don't like Team Fun?
No.
What
a bad name.
Bad name.
That's like, what is it? What is it? Team Unicorn or whatever from 18? Do?
I think Unicorn is objectively worse than Fun.
Yeah, I like
well,
Team
not just
Fun.
that, but the
My only problem with Team Fun is that it's already been used on The Amazing Race. And spoiler alert, it's going to be used in the future in The Amazing Race too. Might be
I feel like he had it with Amistay, where it's like you can kind of like Amistay as opposed to, and then he went from Amistay to We Gonna Stay. What was it? It was terrible.
How about Team Amistay? Instead of saying Namaste, I think we ought to say Team We Want Stay.
Team We Want Stay.
I think that's the way he talks, though. Like he'll say something and like think that you're gripping onto it because at first everyone in the house is like, yeah, that's great. And then he like is misinterpreting that, like, yeah, I got him. This is funny. And then he just keeps going. And it just gets worse and worse as he goes.
It's like it almost makes sense, and then it's just completely gone.
Yeah. Scotty, are you enjoying your Kato Kaelin experience?
For the most part, yes. A lot of people are saying they'll like watch live feeds and be like, Scotty's back in the house. And I'll just be like, I don't think I look that much like him. He's like he's got blonde hair and glasses, I guess.
Yeah.
But I've been getting that like crazy.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying I look like Kato.
What was with his sunglasses in the diary room tonight, Taryn? He had like a new look.
The lights are very bright. They need sunglasses.
Is that what it is?
There's a couple good sunglasses this year. Tay's got the good sunglasses. Joey's going in there with his beanie and his like clear glasses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The season of sunglasses.
So, but Ricky Williams flat out says no name to Team Fun. Scotty, is that a major mishandle, or is that are there some advantages to not having an alliance name because it makes it harder to figure out?
I think I like it because it's hilarious, but from the game perspective, no, he probably should have just agreed with whatever the hell they were saying. Yeah. Especially if he wasn't like invested. He made it sound like he wasn't invested in it, so he should have been like, yeah, sure, whatever. That's a great name. I love it. No, I'm Ricky Williams. There are no problems here. I love your name. Let's just go on with our day.
Yeah, Taryn, I'd like to see Ricky Williams and Nick Wilson get into a debate about the usefulness of an alliance name.
Yeah, Ricky's one weakness in the game, and it's a big one, is that like he has very little patience, and he just like his opinion is just like no name. We're not going to do a name. Mm-hmm. No, that's just Ricky in a nutshell.
Yeah, is he anti all alliance names, or is he just anti that particular alliance name? That was unclear.
Well, he doesn't like Tom very much.
Yeah.
And so I think he just didn't want to be like associated like in the alliance with it. I think it was a genuine response. He did later go to Tom to be like, oh, hey, what's the alliance name? Team Fun? Yeah, I'm all about Team Fun 5. Yeah, let's go. All right. We're all about it now, because he realized it was a mistake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he gets fussy. Like when he said, can I say what he said though, where he said the B word?
Would you go ahead? If it was on the show, say it.
Yeah, he was like, "Man, people are being bitch made."
He says that a lot.
Yeah,
I think it's so funny.
What is that word? People are being bitch made.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Because like I think it was Candy. The last one was Candy got put on the block, and she was complaining that she was on the block, and he was like, "It's part of the game. You're being bitch made," which is like it's just point blank for him, which is just so funny to me that he talks like that. But it's basically like they're too much in their emotions. I think is like the nicest way to say
it. Bitch made is the nicest way to say it?
No, the nicest way to say it is you're too much in your emotions.
Too much in your.
Bitch made is the Ricky way to say that.
Yeah. Taryn, I thought that Ricky Williams was like really zen and deep.
He is. Gemini. That's what I'm saying. He's very zen and deep. It's like it's a deep pool of zenness. But
he's such a Pisces.
I guess Yeah, such a Pisces. I think it's affected by the tides, maybe, and so he goes from very deep to very shallow very quickly because he has such little patience. He has such a short fuse that every once in a while, like a bomb goes off and all the water goes from the pool and it's not deep anymore.
Yeah. I want to go back to the competition tonight, Scotty. I thought Kato Kaelin seemed like way too excited to be the host of Slaughterhouse competition.
Yeah, you
He was
think
like
that
really
you'd be
pumped
like,
up.
yeah, well, we were talking. He got pumped up when he put Ryan on the block. He gets pumped up for literally no good reason. Like, especially Slaughter Made should be like scary. It should be horror. So he's just kind of be like, okay,
Because he's numb
let's see
to
the
it, I
time.
guess.
Yeah, he may like stuff like that. Like maybe he gets that excited when he watches like a horror movie
Well,
or like goes through a haunted house.
Well, that's what he said.
I love horror films.
He loves horror films also.
But yeah, does he like get that excited when he watches them? Like when someone dies, he like, yes, I love it. Let's people need to keep dying. Like, is that how he watches a horror movie?
I don't know. Well, I don't know. You would think that he would have been traumatized by everything he's been through, but I don't know. But
He really like grapes.
yeah, and that little known fact, Kato Kaelin actually has a role in. My friend made a low budget horror movie, and Kato Kaelin is in it. You can check it out. It's called Pan Man, and Kato Kaelin. Pan Man.
What's the 30-second pitch?
So Pan Man is a demon who takes over people's bodies and then wears like a giant. It's really more of like a giant spaghetti pot over his head and then kills people with a pan. And I actually have a small part in that film as well, Pan Man. So I actually, if you want to do 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, you can get Kato Kaelin and I are in the same film.
Wow,
It's a little known fact.
that's a good pitch.
Little known fact.
So Rob, when are you going to be on Celebrity Big Brother and they show a clip of you on Pan Man as part of the opening
This
montage?
needs to happen.
Yes, I get killed in Pan Man. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it says
Well,
Rob.
Way to ruin it.
Yes, I don't have a big part, Taryn. I don't have a big part. I'll let Mike White make fun of my role in Pan Man at some point down the road.
Have you seen Pan Man?
Yeah.
Have you seen
Are you a
it?
fan? Okay.
Pan of the pan.
Okay. Is there anybody that is getting on your nerves in the Celebrity Big Brother house, Scotty?
Lolo's like the emotions. It's just like calm yourself. There's no reason. Like Natalie is like in the perfect spot. I think as of right now, she's going to win because Lolo's blowing up around her for every which reason.
Mm-hmm.
Tom and Kato are winning competitions and then getting rid of the people they think are competition threats. So like they're all going to get picked off before she does in that alliance.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she's in the perfect spot. But Lolo.
Yes.
Also, it annoys me that Dina looks more like Lindsay Lohan than Lindsay Lohan does.
Dina looks more like Lindsay Lohan than Lindsay Lohan looks like.
That's how I feel when I look at her. Like when I think what Lindsay Lohan looks like, and then I see Dina, I'm like, that's what I think Lindsay Lohan looks like.
So are you saying that potentially you see a scenario, Scotty, where Lindsay Lohan might have switched bodies with her mom?
Yes. I think it was last Friday.
You think that we've gone full Freaky Friday?
Correct. Yes. I think we've gone Freaky Friday on BB Celeb.
Hey, I'm definitely not Dina Lohan. It's me, Lindsay.
That's a great impersonation.
Jonathan, it's me, remember?
Throw your game away by telling everyone not to put me on the block.
Were you sad to see Lochte go?
Was I sad? No, I was kind of happy because it means they like wasted the money on that pool.
I think they got it for free. I think that the pool company is like, hey, do you want the opportunity to have Ryan Lochte in one of your endless pools? And like, you better believe it. It's like, okay, well, just give us $5,000 an episode and then put the pool in the backyard.
That would be such a bummer. But yeah, that's probably what happened. I like to be optimistic though and think they paid for it.
Yeah. So, Lochte is off to Tokyo to get ready. Would you have liked that, Scotty, to have the endless pool in the backyard?
Kinda, because I don't know how to swim really. So I probably would have learned how to swim. There are things that they have I'd much rather, like as far as the things that they have that I would want, endless pool towards the bottom of the list. Like a regular dining room table would have been nice instead of those benches. Regular couches instead of that circular thing. The weight room is the number one thing I would want.
Yeah. Did they have the UFO hat?
We did not have the UFO hat. No one was going around shooting things or tweeting or anything. Yeah, they can tweet from inside the house.
Yeah, Taryn, I didn't know that this was a thing. Could you explain the iPad? Because I feel like that they sort of just had that in the episode. And everybody, oh, you tweeting? You tweeting? You tweeting?
Yeah, so this happened last season as well. They're given a tablet where they're allowed to write up
Celebrity Big Brother.
Yes,
Okay.
Celebrity Big Brother. They're allowed to write up tweets, and then the producers will, copy them over to the Twitter account and post the tweets for them. Not all of the tweets go through, and they
get filtered.
They see nothing in response.
Right.
Obviously, it's not connected to anything.
Okay, so why haven't I seen any of these tweets? What do I have to be following? Is it just CBS Big Brother?
No, it's the celebrities' individual accounts.
Oh. Okay, well,
yes,
that's not following the.
But on Tom's last one, there was a picture of him with it too. So like, did he just like type in add a picture of me, and then they added a picture of him?
Mm-hmm.
I think they like Tom, and they're trying to go the extra mile with his tweets.
Make him okay.
Yeah. Okay. Why not just have them from one account? Why do I have to follow 11 different accounts, Taryn?
Because I think part of it is that the celebrities are like, well, I can't leave my social media, unmanned.
Let the personal accounts retweet the HOH or the Big Brother account.
These people, the reason they're on here is for exposure. So they're hoping that they'll get people to follow their own accounts by tweeting, and that's the exposure they're getting.
Has anybody tweeted anything interesting? Is there there's no way to see like the history of what was tweeted, right?
Well, you can just go to Tom Green's Twitter account.
He's the only person that's done it. Yeah.
Tom, I have not having followed any of these celebrities on Twitter yet. Tom's tweets are basically the only ones I've seen from the fans that are like retweeting them. So I assume that all the other ones are super boring.
Okay. Boy, it'd be good if we could get somebody who knew about the podcast and they could write in questions from the house for us to answer. Yeah. That would be good. Scotty, what would you have tweeted if you had access to that iPad in the house?
Probably a lot of like swear words.
Mm-hmm. So that might not have gotten through.
Yeah, most of my stuff probably wouldn't have gotten through. I don't know, because like I feel like most people would just like tweet shout outs and stuff. And I personally hate shout outs. I hate when people's speeches are shout outs. I hate when they're voting and they do shout outs.
Mm-hmm.
I hate shout outs. So mine would have just been random things that's happening in the house, and I would have been frustrated, and I would have tweeted about my frustration.
Yeah. Well, I do remember that you said that in the house too. I think I remember hearing that. Yes, Scotty hates shout outs, and we are 100% on board with that.
Yeah, I hate the shout outs, and I hate when people leave. They swing the door super open, and then everyone goes behind like they're waving.
Yes.
Because like in my head, Big Brother, it's a social experiment, and then the game drives the social experiment.
Yes.
And I think most people view it the opposite, where they think it's a game, and the social aspect is a part of the game. I view it the opposite.
So you feel like that it's an experiment that's televised?
Correct. And I think the game is what drives like people's wants and stuff. See how they would act in certain circumstances.
Yes. I believe that our own Brent Walgamont is a very big fan of that keeping the door closed. Did not like it when people would try to keep the door open so people could see the audience.
I hate that. On my second time, I tried to like pull it, but I think someone ran over and caught it and opened it again.
But you're not, now I can understand more as a fan not wanting to see what's going on. But it was like from the perspective of that this is not right, or I don't want people to sort of like get an advantage by seeing what's going on outside.
No, it was more of the like seeing that there are still real people, like could be like a refresher for your head and be like, oh, this is a game. I don't have to be in my feelings so much. I want people to like stew in it. And then the more they stew in it, the more they're likely to like kind of lose themselves.
Yeah. And was it curiosity, or were people trying to see anything in particular, like the crowd reaction?
No, most people just like, they want people to see them, exposure. It's like, oh, look at me. I'm a funny guy. And then like they'll stand in front of the door.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. Mm-hmm. I hate it. That's not what we're here for.
Yeah. Scott, what was your Big Brother casting story? How did you end up on the show?
Well, originally I tried out for 18 because my sister was actually who I started watching the show with. She started, I came down, it was during season 7 I started watching. And I was like, this is awesome. Chicken George is actually the guy who got me into it because he was the episode where like shaved his hair and was like, I'm going to go and slop the whole summer.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this guy's a badass. And then I watched the rest of the season. I was like, he's really not a badass. But at that point, I got sold into the fact that he was a badass. So then 18 came around. And my sister was like, we should go to an open cast. So I was like, okay. So I went to the open cast. She didn't go. She bailed. And I made it decently far that time. And I was like, this is gettable. I can get this. So that summer I started like working out a lot. I went to CrossFit. I started doing like improv and acting classes. And I was like, this is all going to help me during the interviews. I got a call for OTT. I kind of was like, I wasn't too like sure I wanted to go on OTT. So I kind of like feigned interest.
Mm-hmm.
And then right before 19, I busted up my ankle and I couldn't go on that season.
Mm-hmm.
Like the day before open cast, I busted up my ankle. And I was like, crap. So then I just spent the whole year healing, going to classes, and then tried out for 20 and I got on.
Okay. Did you feel like that it was a done deal from like because you knew you had gotten close the previous time?
I didn't feel like it was a done deal until probably really early June. I feel like the last like 2 to 3 weeks I was pretty much done in.
Yeah. Did you change something that you did, or you just felt like that you had been through the process a couple times and that they knew you at that point?
I don't feel like I changed anything I did. I would say that I focused a little less on like my personality attributes and focused more on like the talking of the conversation. Like I never talked about anything that was like really far in my past unless like they specifically asked for it. I only ever talked about things that happened within the last like hour to me. And I kept it very
and that was good. So you're just talking about what just happened to you as opposed to, because I feel like that talking about your backstory, I feel like that's probably, I would tell people that's what they should do.
Well, because to me that felt really pitchy, and I was like, okay, if I'm just like, this is who I am, this is what I've been doing for the last 20 years of my life, that felt really pitchy to me. I was like, I feel like it's a stronger show of social skills if I just talk about literally what's happening in my life right now.
Okay.
And that's what I tried to do for the most part.
All right. Want to get questions in for Scotty, hashtag RHAP. Taryn, any questions that you have for Scotty?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Boom.
All right. Tell us what's going on with the cruise. If it's a Hive cruise, what's the problem? I feel like that they should have the first part of the Hive cruise is get the Hive, right?
Yeah, well, some dude like reached out to us from the go, and like we were all super suspicious about it because this guy like he didn't seem like he knew what was going on. But he was like, "No, we're gonna pay for your airfare, your cabin, everything will be fine."
Mm-hmm.
And we just didn't hear from this guy from forever.
Yeah.
So we were just like, "Oh, it's not happening." And then we heard from him again. He was like, "Are you guys still down?" We were like, "Yeah, we were down back in like October when you asked us initially. What was the change?"
Yeah. And
then I guess it ended up recently getting passed to some other guy who was like, yeah, I didn't realize this guy had done no work. So it's like the agency's like passing it around.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know. It's apparently as of right now, our cabins are being paid for, but now our travel's not.
Okay.
Which is like, that would have been fine in October because tickets would have been like $40 max.
Well, how are they having a
Hive
cruise and they're not getting the Hive out there?
I have no idea. I think we're just like an accessory to the cruise. Like it's not like a cruise like for us. We're just like an accessory of the cruise.
Oh, you guys
like
are just going on the cruise. It's not like being marketed as come cruise with the Hive.
It really hasn't been marketed at all.
Okay. All right. And how was Fessy versus Swaggy C basketball?
It went as expected. I like always thought Swaggy was going to win. They would talk in the house like nonstop about who would win this game. And every time I feel like, you realize like you're a college football player. I get that. He's a college basketball player.
Right.
This is what he went to school to do. And like people would always say, they're like, but Fess is so much bigger. Swaggy's within an inch of Fess in height. He's not that much bigger. Like he's a little bit bigger, but he's not like taller.
Yes.
And in a half-court game, like that doesn't really matter. Like, I don't know if you care about the logistics of the basketball game or just like the experience, but for the logistics of a basketball game, that like doesn't make any sense why people would think that.
Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like that Swaggy C should have spotted Fessy a couple points here.
Man, that would have been such an insult to Fess. There's no way Fess would have taken it.
Okay.
Beth would have been so insulted by that.
Yeah. Taryn, do you know what questions Melissa wants you to ask?
I was just trying to read it.
That I see the chat is
I'm not
getting
sure
that
I
Melissa is in the chat room and she seems angry that you're not asking her Scotty questions.
All right, so this is what Melissa wrote. She said, "Why did he decide that he didn't want to listen to what the other jurors were telling him in the jury house when he returned?"
Okay.
So, like, I'm guessing the question is, because at that point, Bailey and Rockstar would have been like, go after Tyler and Angela.
I guess
I'm
so.
guessing that's her question.
I'm not. She'd probably have to clarify. Because I was reading it and I didn't really understand
Because
exactly.
I can't actually do anything unless I win that HOH.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't win that HOH, like, as the person who just got back in the house, the only thing I can do is, like, kind of talk to the current HOH and be like, hey, I know it would be easy to get rid of me, but don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, without winning that HOH in the spot that I was in, it's not like I was returning to an alliance. I was returning to, like, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, unless I had the power, the leverage to, like, do something, then there's not a whole lot I can do.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there was one before as well. What was his thinking behind wanting to work with Tyler and Angela when he got back into the house? Or work with Tyler and target Angela when he got back into the house.
That Skylar was coming back.
I don't think I ever would have targeted Angela because I actually wanted to keep Angela as long as I could. Because one, she, like, when she was HOH, she put me up, yeah, but, like, she was able to veer away from me and went after Bailey. So I never thought she would, like, be the one to, like, come after me. And I knew based on the people I talked to in jury, I could crush her in final two.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I would have won that HOH, literally nobody was safe.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Angela and Sam. Angela and Sam would have been the only two that probably would have been safe if I won that HOH.
You know, I don't feel like I have a good sense of, like, how the Big Brother jury goes. Like, what percentage of the conversation in the jury house is about what's going on in the game and, like, sort of rehashing stuff from the game?
It really depends who you talk to. Because when I was with Angela and Rockstar, or when I was with Angela, Rockstar, and Bailey, not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
When I was with Fess loved talking games.
Yeah.
Fess was just like, at this point, now he was just like, okay, this is what I think happened. This is where I think people went wrong. This is where I think I went wrong. This is where I think you. And he was just all about the game. I did not want to talk game and jury.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what he said to me, I would just be like, yeah, no, I agree. This is what So, I mean, it's different per person. Like, then when Brett got in the house, I almost never talked game with Brett. Like, he, like, immediately told me about level 6, like, the name. And we were just like, okay, that's not really a surprise. And then after that, not a whole lot of game. Fess was really the only one who was like, yeah, let's talk game. Everyone else, for the most part, was just like, okay, let's just relax in the jury house.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have, like, are you not supposed to talk game, or is it just you're just living together, you can talk whatever you want to talk?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
Well, but for what I've heard from previous juries is that you're kind of not supposed to talk a whole lot of game, and there are some handlers there that are kind of like with you, but you can still kind of talk game. So it's kind of like a maybe kind of thing.
And I'll tell you that on Survivor that I believe it's frowned upon. You're not supposed to talk about game. But I was on a Survivor jury before they had, like, Ponderosa videos, and it seems like they encouraged them to talk about the game. So it's a little confusing.
Yeah, that's so unrealistic. Like, literally, that has been our lives for the last 2 months, and that's how we all know each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's an unrealistic expectation.
Yeah.
Yes. There is a question from Stacked in the chat. Wants to know, do you regret not voting for Tyler after watching your season?
No, I don't regret that. I stand by my choice. Because at the jury roundtable, we were at that jury roundtable for a long time. I went to bat for Tyler at that jury roundtable. And then a lot of other people were like, no, Casey. But going in, I was like, okay, if Tyler's, like, the master manipulator that I think that he is, he's got to have a bomb speech. His speech better be on point. Casey's speech, we know Casey's going to have a bad speech. We know that going in. She's not a great talker. We just know that she won competitions every week for the last, like, 5 or 6 weeks. So, like, that's her resume. We know it. It's in front of us. She can't hide that. Tyler's game was theoretically all behind the shades, like behind curtains, and we weren't supposed to know about it. And then he brought up. So his speech should have been great, and his speech sucked. I've told him this on so many occasions. I was like, Tyler, your speech sucked.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I know, man. So no.
So,
and, like, he also apparently didn't want to pick between Casey and Angela like that was a hard decision.
Yeah.
Yes, his big brother.
Right.
Win that comp, guarantee or just send one of them packing.
So
literally, he has the opportunity to get rid of Casey if he wants to there, and he doesn't.
Mm-hmm. So when you guys are sitting there, we talk a lot about this from the outside in terms of like, is there enough time for you guys to be able to make a decision in the moment, or that is there not enough time for people to say what they have to say? Do you feel like that you guys have an adequate amount of time to be able to ask the questions that you need to ask in that jury questioning segment?
I felt there was enough time for us questioning them.
Yeah.
I would say that there wasn't enough time for them to talk, but I would say based on what I was hearing out of the two of them, neither of them like prepared a speech.
Yeah.
They were both like improvising. So as much as I would like them to have more speech time, I don't think that those two in particular were ready.
And Scotty, what was it that you wanted to hear Tyler say that he didn't say?
He didn't actually illustrate any of his game. His speech was literally, he talked about how much he loved Casey and loved everybody. Then he was like, I backstabbed Sam and I lied to Bailey about Scotty. Mm-hmm. That's it. That was your whole game.
Yeah.
You only did those two things when he's supposed to be this master manipulator. Like, and this is something else we talked about in his goodbye message to me when he was like, I had the second power app the whole time. Nobody knew. Tell your friends. That came off so condescending.
Yeah.
It's like, you can explain that without sounding condescending. And he was like, I know, I didn't mean to sound condescending, but that's how it came off. So he could have, like, first of all, he could have been like, okay, this is what I did from the start of the game. I had this alliance because he was HOH, is why he got in level 6, kind of how my understanding of it. Now, I used this alliance. And then from there, I, like, used Caitlyn. And then from here, I lied about you. And then Sam told me about the power app and, like, actually paying it out. He just would have gone week by week and been like, this is what I did week to week. I was behind the shadows the entire time running the game. It would have been perfect.
Yeah.
But instead he just kind of like blurted out like two people he pissed off and was just like, I love everybody.
So would you say that like that basically you weren't sure that he had played the game that people were claiming that he had, and so the fact that he wasn't able to illustrate it kind of pointed you to the fact that like maybe he wasn't as good as some people were saying?
I believe that if you are as good as you are, or as good as other people are saying you are, you should be able to explain that. You should be like, these are my moves. I came up with it in my head. This was my plan. This is how I did it. And it backs up what other people are saying. It's not their job for me to pick who I want to win. It's not the other jury's members' job to decide who I want to win. It's their job to like be like, this is why I deserve to win.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them, in my opinion, which is Tyler, was in the spot where he was like, I have to prove to you what I did. Where with Casey, it was like, we know that she's not going to be able to talk to us, but her game is out in the open. It's winning competitions. It's staying back and quiet. It's sitting in the corner, being I'm a grown ass woman and then hiding in the corner. That was her game. We know that. We see it.
Yeah. So do you feel like if the approach was instead of like, hey, I was loyal and I was a nice guy, as opposed to like, hey, I lied to all you guys and I had to because you guys are so good, but I played everybody here throughout the whole season and I'm the reason why you're sitting there. That's more of the kind of thing that would have gotten your vote. Yeah,
if he would have painted it out, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I also felt Casey was more loyal to him than he would have been to her.
Yeah, well, he didn't get rid of her when he had the chance.
And they're like, we're a final two. Our loyalty to each other is all that matters. Then I feel like that the one that's more loyal should like win. Like I feel like Casey was more loyal to Tyler than Tyler was to Casey.
Yeah, he had a bunch of final twos, and she was just the one that he picked, as opposed to that she had a final two.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So to bring this back to Celebrity Big Brother, actually, it's interesting because Big Brother 20 is one of the few seasons that Tom watched in preparation for coming on the show. And he's been talking about it on the feeds, talking about how Tyler lost because he lied to everybody and how you can't lie to people in this game and expect to win in the end. And I do feel like this is part of the current culture where we saw Paul lose to Josh, then we saw Ross lose to Marissa, and then Tyler losing to Casey. I do think the people that are new to the show that have only watched the recent seasons, they do have this kind of mentality that is like, hey, I don't think we can play a game where we're lying. And that kind of, I think, is why in that moment when Candy is questioning Tom, he's like, can't make a lie right now, but I also don't want to tell you the truth. And I think a lot of the players in this house are playing in that way. And it's interesting to watch because they're all very scared to like just outright lie. And I think that it also is part of what is influencing Lolo to try and like rewrite history, to be like, it's not my fault that I betrayed, it's other people's faults that I betrayed people. And it's very ingrained in this season in particular, which is, I think, something interesting to look at.
I think as long as you can explain the lie, like you're like, this is why I lied, this is the purpose of it, then I think it's fine. But besides that, I agree. I think a lot of people in recent seasons are going to be more and more scared to play that way.
Okay, let's start to bring in some of the questions that we have for Scotty, and then we'll talk about some of the stuff from the feeds. Scott St. Pierre has he's gone to the Pan Man IMDb, and interestingly enough, from the Pan Man IMDb, Kato Kaelin is listed as new Pan Man, Rob Cesternino is old Pan Man. So yeah, a little bit of the passing of the baton from myself to Kato Kaelin. So,
Rob, you have a new nickname.
Yeah. So how was the process of getting on Celebrity Big Brother 3, Rob?
We'll work on that. Don't really love that I'm the old Pan Man, and Kato Kaelin is the new hotness, but I'm old and busted. Kieran says, should Tom target one of the girls since the girls have the numerical advantage? Taryn, do you feel like that is would a woman be a better target for Tom Green?
Yes, and Tom Green would point out that you should call them women and not girls. He did that on the feeds. Tom Green is in a precarious position here. He's in this alliance with Lolo and Natalie. It's a 4-person alliance, but they also have Ricky, and that's a 5-person alliance. And he kind of correctly recognizes that Nolo has Ricky on their side. That Ricky doesn't like him very much, and so if it gets to 5, then he might be in a little bit of trouble because it'll be 3 versus 2. And he really can't trust Ricky because he feels like, well, maybe Ricky might even come after us before the final 5. Who knows? Ricky could do anything. So he is worried about that. Whether or not he should target the women in particular right now, that would probably be a little bit of a too soon kind of move. I feel like the right move, if he is going to cannibalize his own alliance, would be to go to Ricky first and try to explain it to the women, because I think that you can maybe get away with that a little bit. So I would advise against targeting the women straight up, especially because they are also big targets to the rest of the house. So things to think about there with Tom. I would say no targeting the women. Also no targeting Ricky, potentially the way he went about it, but we'll see how it goes.
We'll see. More on that story to come. Then Gwen says, am I the only one that thinks Lolo is super dull? Well, I know how Taryn feels. Although dull isn't your problem with Lolo, right? She's not dull enough. She should be more dull enough.
No, just a little more honest, I think, with herself. I think that would work for her with the jury.
Okay. Scotty, any strong feelings on Lolo?
I agree that like she's just spinning all kinds of crap all the time. Like I think she doesn't realize that we're watching all the time, and like she can't have her own narrative.
Mm-hmm. This is a question from the worst David. Are you jealous they didn't give you a deck of cards and a ukulele? Would that have helped pass the time, Scotty?
The deck of cards would have been cool.
Yeah.
Ukulele, I don't know how to play. People would have hated me.
You could learn.
Ukulele.
You could learn.
Yeah, you'd learn.
Okay. Teton Jones, Scotty, the slaughterhouse looked like it could have been built in the same place as the hacker comp. Where was that? How did you get there? I don't know that. I mean, well, the slaughterhouse was clearly in the backyard, right?
I have no clue what the slaughterhouse is.
Yeah.
It's probably like the thing like at the beginning of our season where 1 second we're standing on a pedestal and then we get like downloaded into something else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those people don't know what's going on. They're just sitting on couches and they just appear at new places.
Okay.
Magic.
Is there anything you can tell us about the hacker competition? What was going on there?
I should have won both those stupid freaking things.
Yeah.
That's what's going on with those things. Oh my God. The second one in particular, I hated. I should have won that one. But not literally. It's just same as usual. We're going to start a competition. get ready to start a competition, and then you just wait forever, and then next thing you know, you're starting a competition.
Okay.
Just like where was it in relation to the house?
I don't know if I can say that.
Okay. All right. Well, then that helps. Okay. All right.
Yeah, let me dance around the question and then give you an answer.
Okay. Felipe says, Scotty, who's your favorite BB Celeb house guest this season, and who do you predict is going to be the winner?
I think as of right now, Eva's going to be the winner, and Ricky's still my favorite.
Okay. All right. That's good picks. Melissa Bott says, question for Scotty, does Tom Green's nomination make sense to you?
I understand he's going after Joey. Like, he's not his reasoning. I agree that he should go after people with the power app. That's an easy way to be like, guys, you can't like be mad at me. It's you guys have an unfair advantage. So I need to try to pick that out. I agree with that logic. He can pitch that logic. Do I think he's going to pitch it that way? No, I think he's going to have a million explanations of paranoia, and it's slowly going to unravel. But as long as he doesn't go after, like, I think it's a mistake for him to go after Ricky or the girls. Just because, like, I think everybody else will target them first before Kato and Tom.
Yeah, well,
because they have to realize they have 4 competition wins between the two of them. It's so easy for someone to say that and be like, you know what, you're right. We should go after them. He's got to keep the bigger targets in front of them.
What we were hoping for was that you would say,
this doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And C, it doesn't make sense.
I said that all the freaking time in that house.
Yeah, and that's why we keep it.
Hey!
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I hate the sound of my own voice so much.
I've got TTFN.
Ta-ta for now.
Yeah. Okay. Megan says, it seems like Big Brother contestants, Big Brother gives the contestants plenty of hints and advice prior to them doing the comp, like the HOH one tonight, like go into a crawl space, jump out a window. What are your thoughts on that? Are they giving too much away in the clue? It didn't seem like the house guests picked up on it.
No, I don't think the house guests picked up on it. Like, unless you're really thinking about it, because like for the power too, they're like out of a sticky situation. Like that has nothing to do with what the actual power app was. I don't think it's too many hints.
Yeah.
I don't think like in there, your brain is focused on so many things. I don't think the phrasing of like a hint is going to be that big of a deal.
Yes. And I just have to do a quick shout out for a lot of the people on Twitter that asked that I play at some point tonight.
This is a sticky situation.
That's a callback. That's an old song that we used to play on the podcast a lot. That was from Baylor. That was Baylor Wilson with A Sticky Situation. One of the biggest hits of 2014. Tender Taryn says, what's colder, the polar vortex or Faute's gameplay? Come on, Tender Taryn. Stop it with the cheap shots.
Yeah, obviously it's Faute's gameplay.
Yeah, colder than the polar vortex.
Yeah.
Let's see. Juliana says, how is Scotty handling all of these temperatures in Chicago?
Literally, I woke up and like the inside of the windows have like frost on them.
Yeah.
It's horrible over here.
Scotty, anybody that you think that could be a bitter juror in the Celebrity Big Brother cast? We saw that it was in the Celebrity Big Brother. A lot of jurors were not happy with Ross Matthews.
I think if anyone at any point becomes a bitter juror, I think Lolo is probably the like most.
Okay.
I think she would be the one who would like snap emotionally and be like, no, this is why like my feelings are important and stuff like that.
Okay. And then one more question. We'll talk about the feeds. Does Slaughterhouse rank in the top 5 best competitions of all time? I still love the MacGyver one as well. Yes, of course. Going back to Big Brother 18, where Natalie said that's her favorite show, MacGyver. She was going to be watching it all the time. So, all right.
Still does to this day, Rob.
And James too, I think, as well. All right. So, Taryn, was this a top 5 baby for you?
I wouldn't say top 5 myself.
It was fun. Okay. All right. Yeah. So, Scotty, we're going to touch on a busy day on the live feeds. Of course, Taryn will cover it in full tomorrow morning on the live feed update. But let's get some of the headlines here from Taryn as we approach another busy night on the Big Brother live feeds. Okay, here we go.
The Office of Civil Defense has issued the following message. This is
a spoiler.
Warning.
A spoiler.
Warning means that an actual
spoiler
against this country has been detected. and that protective action should be taken.
Yes. Okay, Scotty, these are the spoilers here. Talk about what's happening on the live feeds and another busy day in Celebrity Big Brother, Taryn. Okay, what's the latest at this hour?
So there's been a lot of things happening, a lot of talking in circles, but basically, as soon as Tom became HOH, he started thinking about this idea that he wanted to target Ricky. When the power was announced, that plan was a little bit like, oh, I don't know if we can do this anymore. What if Ricky has the power? There's all sorts of things that might go wrong. So they eventually kind of landed on maybe we won't backdoor Ricky. Maybe instead we'll put up Joey and Candy, and then we'll backdoor Tamar, thinking maybe she has the power, and then we'll flush the power, and then we will still pretend that everything's fine with Ricky. And if Tamar doesn't have the power, then we'll know that Ricky has the power and that he's lying, and then we'll be able to convince the women that they need to turn on Ricky. And so there's been a lot of this like Ricky talk
Hashtag
that's been
Ricky
going
talk.
on. Yes. So just to stay on that track, Tom and Kato have discussed the Ricky talk with the women, Natalie and Lolo, and they have been like, hey, is this a 5-person alliance or is it a 4-person alliance? What's going on here? Are we working with Ricky or are we not working with Ricky? Because we feel like we can't really trust Ricky and maybe we should backdoor Ricky. And Lolo is like, no, I don't like that at all. We should not do that. And are you being so paranoid, Tom? Why are you being so weird? And Tom's like, hey, look, I just don't trust Ricky very much. Maybe we should backdoor him. And Lolo and Natalie are like, no, Tom's being crazy. What are we going to do? We need to go warn Ricky. And then they go warn Ricky, and everything's now Ricky knows that Tom is after him potentially. And that's kind of the Ricky storyline so far, a little bit.
Okay. In my mind, I feel like that this is very premature to go after Ricky here with, that this is that there's how many people? Nine in the house right now? Is it? And, you're getting rid of one of your 5 that, if Ricky got HOH, is he going to put up Tom and Kato? I don't think so. So I think this is too early, Taryn.
Yeah, I mean, basically, Tom has the right idea that Ricky is in a great spot because he's in between 2 pairs at the final 5. He also knows that Ricky doesn't particularly like him, and he knows that Ricky would definitely choose the women over the 2 guys. So in that regard, he's completely right in what he's thinking through. But what he decides to do about it is completely wrong. He is turning on this group too early. The women are never going to be okay with this. Ricky is going to be super pissed. He might not even have the votes to get Ricky out. And so, I mean, obviously what he should be doing is playing cool, lying low for a little more, and then taking his shot a little bit later. That's kind of the move to take here. But Tom he's very all over the place. And when he has an idea, he wants to talk it through and he wants to have some fun with it. And so he's really just into this idea of like, I want to get Ricky before Ricky gets me. And so he wants to make sure that this happens. And it is definitely blowing his entire game up here to the pleasure of everyone, because this 5-person alliance would have absolutely run the table this season if Tom hadn't blown it up here.
Yeah, but that's assuming that all 5 can make it to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, in fairness, in Celebrity Big Brother last season, I mean, all 5 did make it to the finale.
Yeah, and look at the competition. Unfortunately, you've got Tamar who quit the last HOH competition. If they get Joey out, then he's gone. No, don't need to worry about Joey. You've got Dina and Candy. It's like
I think
they're probably going to win most of those competitions.
Taryn, I feel like that this is the right move. If this was the final 9 on Survivor, I was like, yeah, Tom Green making the right call, getting rid of Ricky Williams, big threat. Got to that 5-person alliance, and he's going to get screwed when he gets down to the end. But this is Celebrity Big Brother 2. I feel like that this is an overplay here to take out Ricky Williams.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to analyze the correctness of this move because it's really just that, like, it's hard to even look at it like, was it the right move or was it the wrong move? Because it's not really about the move. It's about the way that Tom did it. Like, it was never, ever going to succeed the way that Tom went about this. There is a universe where this works, where Tom gets Kato, he gets Dina, he talks to Candy and he talks to Joey and he gets them all together and he says, hey, Natalie and Lolo are super strong. They've had so many alliances. Ricky is super strong. He's been pulling some strings all along. We need to turn on these people. They would absolutely have Dina loyal to them. Joey, if they pulled him in and they were honest with him and they gave him loyalty, he would be completely loyal to them. They would have numbers. They could move against the other three, and I think that could potentially work for them. It would be kind of a risky move, but it would be one where we might look back and go, man, that's when they really took control of the game. But that's not even remotely close to what they're doing. Yeah. What they're doing is, should we backdoor Ricky? Let's go talk to the women about it and let them know what we're thinking, and then maybe back off of the idea and then do what they want us to do now that they know that we wanted to betray them, and now they're going to work with the other people against us.
I also think another interesting part of this week is that this is probably the week that's the closest in length to the actual, like the regular format of Big Brother, where we had an HOH on Monday night, and then we're going to have an eviction here coming up on Saturday. So a 5-day HOH reign is a really long time on Celebrity Big Brother. And especially when we're used to like sort of like these rapid fire HOHs, like Kato became HOH late Friday night and then had, the new HOH was crowned on Monday. So it ends up being the kind of thing where a lot can really shift around in this week, where, we're only at the veto draw today, that this is a week where a lot of things can develop.
Yes, and especially with Tom in charge. Tom has been. I've been talking about how Tom wants to be Team Fun, and Kato's been shutting him down. Tom is now in charge. He said to Kato, "Get in the back seat and let me drive in this situation." And so he's driving the ship straight into the ground, and it's fantastic. It's everything I've wanted him to be doing all along. And he even recognizes, this is probably going to get me kicked off the show, but it'll be funny. So, and he's right. It is funny, and I'm glad that he's doing it, even though it's really bad gameplay.
Get in the back seat and let me drive.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to you.
Well, I heard it.
Poop.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Scotty, who do you want to see win the veto?
Ricky. I don't want any chance that he gets backdoored.
Okay. And so if Ricky does win the veto, Taryn, who will go home from these nominations, Candy or Mr. Joey Lawrence?
Rob, I can't even tell you what Ricky will do with the veto at this point.
Which is another good reason you want him to win.
So now that Ricky knows that Tom was after him and the women are fully off the Tom and Kato train, they spoke with Joey, and Joey has been really playing the game pretty hard lately. And Joey has like seemingly convinced them to turn on Tom and Kato completely and work with Joey instead, because Joey is a genuine dude. He's all about, he's ready to flip the game against Tom and Kato. He's rearing to go. Meanwhile, Tom and Kato think that Joey is with them and that he's a vote for them. And that's why they can backdoor Joey or backdoor Ricky, even without the support of the women. But the women are now working with Joey and Ricky and Tamar. And their plan is, okay, Joey, if you win the veto, don't use it. That way he can't backdoor Ricky. Don't worry, we'll save you. We'll vote out Candy. Meanwhile, they're telling the men, hey, we need Joey gone because he's after us. You're not doing what we want by trying to backdoor Ricky because we need Joey gone. So they're now playing the guys. They're playing Tom and Kato. And so the plan is to give Joey the veto so that he won't use it, and then they'll vote out probably Candy. Although there's still some talk of potentially voting Joey out even if he doesn't use the veto, or even if he wins and doesn't use it. But it would probably, I think that would be a step too far even for them. And I think that if Joey won and didn't use it, they would in fact go ahead and vote Candy out. So Candy would be the person to go. However, there is still the possibility that if somebody like Ricky wins, he might use it to do something. There's so many things that could happen because they go around in circles all the time.
All right. So busy day of updates with Taryn. Of course, we'll also likely know the holder of the veto, and however those plans may change coming up tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific.
Yes, and sorry, the chat pointed out correctly. I wasn't even thinking. Ricky's not even playing in the veto, so that's not even something.
Oh, he's not?
Yeah, to be concerned about. So Lolo is playing. The three people. Dina, I believe, is playing, and then is it Tamar? I believe is also playing. So
if she wants to,
and I want Joey to win it.
Okay, all right. Great.
Oh, it's Natalie.
Yes,
Sorry.
Great synopsis, and of course, more to come in the morning. Scotty, anything else you want to get off your chest about Celebrity Big Brother, Big Brother 20, Batman, anything? Your landlord, the Hive cruise.
No, everything's chill here.
Yeah,
I got nothing else to report.
Yeah. Well, Scotty, this was really nice to get to talk to you on one of these podcasts. What's all the stuff on the shelves behind you?
Well, obviously I got my picture of everybody. We got Brave and Brash, my HOH letter, Mr. T.
Is that a well, you have a Mr. T bobblehead?
No, it's the regular Funko. His head don't bobble.
Oh, see,
bobble-less.
Yeah, I have a Mr. T bobblehead over behind me, so that we share that in common.
That's a bond.
Yeah, too bad.
It's almost like we're in the same place.
Too bad Mr. T's not on Celebrity Big Brother.
I would love Mr. T on Celebrity Big Brother.
I pity the fool who didn't take me off the block
this every
week.
Fool.
Yeah,
every fool. It'd be so BA.
Yeah, and then you have an 8-ball back there too. What is that? Paper mache magic 8-ball?
No, it's a basketball.
Oh, it's a basketball 8-ball. Wow.
If I ever play 2-on-2 with Tyler on my team, I will let him take the last shot because I know he'll make it.
Okay.
He always makes the 8-ball.
Okay. All right. Of course, Scott, anything you want to tell people to check out?
Check out? Oh my gosh. Like a plug?
Yeah,
You want me to plug
plug
stuff?
away.
What
people want more Scotty.
I'm so bad at plugging. I don't ever plug. I just have the standard stuff.
Twitter.
YouTube channel, Twitter.
What do you
Instagram.
talk about on YouTube?
So far, it's been skits. People wanted a Q&A, so I did a Q&A. I'm only like 2 or 3 videos in. It's a new thing.
What kind of skit do you do?
Well, one of the ones I plan on doing next is it's going to be my transformation into a vampire, but it'll be I changed as a person over the summer. So it'll be kind of metaphoric, and there'll be comedy in it.
So
I like to try to get wacky.
Yes, you can get wacky. You can get wacky. I can see it.
Thank you.
All right. So, Scotty, thank you so much. Let me tell you about what's coming up here on Rob is a Podcast right now. Scotty, do you follow Survivor?
I watched this last year was the first year I watched in its entirety, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, it was a good season. It was a good season of Survivor. We've got up right now on the website our Survivor 38 returnee profile, Aubrey Bracco, the story so far. Mary Kwiatkowski joined me to talk all about Aubrey. Very fun podcast talking about the backstory on Aubrey. And Chef Jim Smith, he is all over the wrap-ups. He is talking about The Bachelor 23 with Amy and Haley. Find out what he has to say about Bachelor Colton, Chef Jim Smith. And then, of course, News AF, Danny Tyson and I talked about the big FaceTime sort of. Sky, did you turn your FaceTime off?
I don't have an iPhone.
Okay. Well, you dodged a bullet because that people are calling up, and it's like you're on the live feeds in your own house, that people are calling you up and able to see what you're doing, and lots of stuff with Danny and Tyson, of course.
Melissa was just making fun of me for not having FaceTime. Now who's laughing, Melissa?
Who's laughing
I don't have
now?
it either. I'm the only one who doesn't.
Yeah. Okay. Celebrity Big Brother 2. Taryn will be back in the morning to talk about everything going on. And what is Natalie Eva Marie doing in this picture here, Taryn? And why are you staring at her? Come on.
Hey, look.
She's staring back.
Beautiful woman.
Yes.
She's staring back, though, Taryn, so.
Yeah.
It's another shipping picture.
Okay, so check that out on Thursday morning, 11. Taryn, can you tease who's on the live feed updates with you?
Tomorrow morning it will be Matt Ligori.
The great Matt Ligori. Tomorrow morning we'll be back Saturday night. A Saturday night of Celebrity Big Brother coming up this week. So be on the lookout for that at right after the episode on Saturday night. I believe that'll be a 9:15 start time for us after the episode. Of course, thanks so much to the patrons of Rob's Podcast. Make all of this podcasting possible on all of our networks. Thank you guys for all of the support. robbinswebsite.com/patron for more information on our Rob's Podcast Patreon community. Thank you guys so much for that. Also, I want to put out there, Winter of Stein is going to be back tomorrow. So get your questions in. Get your questions in for Eric Stein and I. # Winter of Stein. Also, you can email winterofstein@robbinswebsite.com, or you can leave us a voicemail, robbinswebsite.com/voicemail. I'll be talking to Eric early in the morning. And then also, we're going to have some more Survivor, so lots of Survivor podcasts coming, Taryn.
Yes, very, very exciting. Also, the LFC Roundtable will be tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So look out for that.
Okay, another round of the Stock Watch. So it's all happening. Everybody needs to cancel their plans for the weekend because we just have so many podcasts coming up. And so
you guys need to teach me how to plug.
Scott, I'm sorry, Scotty. This phone went on very long, but this is a very busy time right now that we have a lot of stuff between Celebrity Big Brother and Survivor right now.
And I have a plug for you, Scotty, which is that you can watch me play Kingdom Hearts 3 on Twitch at twitch.tv/Taron Armstrong.
Just get on Twitch. Oh, good. How far are you?
Not very far. I just started. I've only played a few hours.
Okay. All right. So, Scotty, thank you again. Really appreciate you coming on here with us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, everybody, for checking out the show. And thanks so much, Scott St. Pierre behind the scenes. We'll be back live again after an episode on Saturday night. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.
Good night.